All right, and welcome back to this third episode of Transport Fever 2. Uh, if you remember from last time, we set up a new route to supply grain to food and to supply food to Kansas City. So that system is going well so far. So we're following one of our orange trucks that's kind of running that route right now. We're going to watch it drop off and pick up the food. And then we're going to take a look at the finances before we move on to our next project for today. All right, so it's going to drop off its grain. Made $13,500 there, drops it off, and then picks up the food to take to Kansas City. Now, we've got a great distribution here now. The timing's great because that orange truck was able to completely load up right off the bat. Okay, so that's now going to go ahead and take it to Kansas City. All right, let's take a look at the finances. Start. We are making money across the board. 130, 210, about $300,000 a year off the lines in gross profit. Now, taking a look at the actual finances over the past year, we're doing okay. We are in profit. The profit's not really great yet, but we're there. We're there. So we're able to kind of continue to expand. I'm still not very comfortable with building a train yet because trains are so expensive to maintain. And if you don't do it right, then it'll just suck up all of your money really quickly. So we're going to build a couple more truck routes. And in order to do that, we're going to head back up towards Salt Lake City. But instead of going over here, we're going to shift our focus to Hartford. When I was kind of scouting things out before we started, I did notice that there is a demand here for machine parts. Now, machine parts is actually a pretty complex item to build, but we have a machine parts factory that's pretty close to Hartford. The issue is that machine parts need planks and they need steel in order to make machine parts. Now, planks come from wood, and steel comes from iron and coal being combined. The issue with steel, though, is that it's a 4-to-1 ratio. So it's 2 iron and 2 coal in order to get to 1 steel. So it's very consuming of your resources to produce steel. Looking around Hartford, I can see, though, that I have most of the things that I need in this vicinity to make machine parts. So I'm going to do it. We're going to see how it's going to be expensive to build this route. But I think if we do it well, it'll make us some pretty good money here at this time. So we're going to start by building those planks. Okay, so I've got wood right here. I've got planks. The issue is that that's a long way to go around. And actually, I don't even think it's connected at all. So we need to find a way to connect these. Luckily, Transport Fever gives you the ability to build roads, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to take a medium country road, and we're going to make it curved, because we're going to connect these two areas right here. Okay, I'm going to start by building connection there, and then going straight across the desert. Now, as you can see, there's this little arrow here with a line underneath it. It's a fixed slope. And what I can do is I can adjust the slope of the road up and down manually if I want. Okay, I can eventually get to building a tunnel as well. Or I can allow it to try to stay as level as possible to match the terrain. That's what I'm going to do right now. At later times, I'll need to adjust the slope manually. Okay, but we're going to keep building. That cost me $35,000 to build that one segment of road. Okay, and then we're going to curve it into here. Great. All right, so now we have wood to planks, planks over to machine parts. We'll get started on that. And we do need to go ahead and connect this road up to the main segment as well. That'll only help us later. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and repeat the process that we've done in the past. We're only going to have one platform. We're going to keep it as small as possible right now because we're trying to save money. Let's see here. 75,000 there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Then we're going to have planks over here. Now, this is actually a pretty quick turnaround, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead. Oh, looks like 78. It's best we're going to do. Yeah, let's go right there. Okay. Oop, I made a mistake there. Okay, so this is eventually going to turn around and turn into planks. So I do need I need a little bit more space. So I'm going to go into and I'm going to modify or configure the stop, and I'm going to add a second lane, a second terminal to drop off and to be able to pick up. Then we're going to go over here, and this one's going to be pretty complex because there are so many elements that are going into it. I don't like the curve of this road. It's going to be that's going to be really difficult for my trucks to navigate quickly. So we're going to build some more roads. Let's go the straight road this time. That'll help get a nice organized system here. And then we're going to go curved road to match onto that. And the same thing over here. Oh, too small. And this is all serving the greater purpose that we have of supplying the needs of this machine shop so that it can send product to Hartford. Okay, so we got that. Let's now build our depot. We're gonna have one on each side, and we're actually gonna make it 20 meters as well. And let's put it right over here. Let's try to find the cheapest spot we can. Let's see if it's cheaper over here. It is a little bit cheaper over here. All right, let's put it over here then. That's fine. All right, 182,000. We've already spent 409,000 on this little adventure here. We're going to up the tempo a little bit on our game so that money can come in a little bit faster. Okay, so now we have the first leg of this journey that we need to have done for the machine parts. So let's see. Clanks require a 2-to-1 margin from wood. So I'm going to set up two separate lines to feed wood into the planks and then from planks into the machines because I want to be able to control how many trucks are doing each part. Okay, so let's set up our first line. We're going to add a new line. Go from the wood production to plank production. We're going to call this Hartford wood to planks. Then let's just go ahead and set up the next line as well, new line. We're going to go planks to machine parts. Okay, now I do think there's an opportunity here for us to incorporate our coal in some way with this line, but that coal needs to go down below to the steel mill. So let's go ahead and just set this up. HTFD. This is going to be planks to machine factory. Okay, all right, so we need some trucks for all of this. We've got no depots around that can really get to us quickly or at all. So we're going to need to build a truck depot. Let's go to Hartford, build that. Right. All right, here's 22,000. Oh, 18. 18, yeah, let's go 18. Perfect. All right, truck depot there. Let's go and buy some vehicles. We still have the steam truck here, carries 6. I need a 2-to-1 margin on this in order to make it a reality, but the distance is a little bit greater. It's actually not that. It's roughly even. Okay, so let's go like a 1.5 to 1 ratio on this. Okay, so there. We're gonna buy 10, and we're gonna send 6 of them. Yeah, 6. We're gonna have 6 to the wood to planks, and then we're gonna send 4 to the planks to machine factory. Okay, now we got 2 colors that are a bit off for there. This is wood production, so we're gonna make it variations of brown. Let's go there. Manage the vehicles. Let's do the same with that. Brown. Great. Then we got this planks production. We're going to turn that to a lighter brown. Lighter brown. We got tan. And then also the trucks need to be tan as well. So, all right. So we are on our way to making planks and turning into machine parts. Okay. So let's see here. We got 55 already stored up and ready to go. So this is working now. This is ready to receive. Okay. And then let's see if this is ready to receive. Yep, this is ready to receive as well. Okay, so everyone is looking forward to the elements that they are getting from this line. Let's go ahead as we're waiting for that to start working. Yep, let's go ahead and start setting up the coal to steel production. Okay, now this is going to require a lot of trucks to match what's happening here so that everything evens out. But again, it's going to be quite profitable if we can do it well. All right, so this is just not good. So let's start by building a new road. And there's just so many curves in what this is doing. So we're going to try to kind of level it out a little bit, straighten it out. Let's go ahead and delete this road as best we can, because we're going to straighten that out. And actually, the game does a pretty good job if you just connect 2 points of making a straight line for you. Let's see how level it is. Yep, it's level all the way through. That's good. Okay, only a little bit of variation here at the crossing, but we're going to go ahead and accept that. That's a good road right there. Okay. Now, I do not necessarily want. Do I? Well, eventually I do want them to drop off. So yeah, that'll work. Eventually, these coal trucks are going to drop steel back off here at the machine's factory. So it's okay if they use this road to get there. Oh, but we could buy. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Oh, we're gonna get fancy here. Okay, so we're gonna take a road, or take the road around this because we don't want the traffic to congest around this. Okay, and we're gonna be able to indicate to our trucks to go use this road instead of this road when they're doing all this business. So that's gonna be fun for us to do. All right, so we've got that set. Okay, let's go down here. We've got our steel production. Now, we need to look for iron as well, because we need the iron in order to make this work. Remember, it's a huge amount of production. There is an iron mine over here near Mobile. I think that's going to be our closest one. We got another one up there. We got one up there. Yeah, this is going to be our closest one over here. And that is a long journey. But we're going to make it happen. Okay? That's going to be the plan. Let's start feeding coal, though, first. Okay? So let's zoom in on our coal. We're going to try to cut the distance as much as possible. Let's make it 1 platform. Let's make it 10 meters to try to save as much money as possible. Let's put it on the opposite side over here to get us stay out of the way. Let's try and cut that distance as much as possible. Oh my gosh, we're going to get almost to the intersection. Okay, let's go there. Cool, great. Oh my gosh, it even captured that. That's cool. All right. That makes me a little bit worried because that's gonna mess with that a little bit. But let's just see what happens. Might have to move that closer to the mine eventually. Okay, let's do the same thing down here. Let's build a road to start. Just so we can expand the catchment a little bit of that mine. We do have to get from there too. So let's try to make it up here if we can. Honestly, one of the best things to do about steel production is trains, because trains are so efficient about transporting large amounts of goods. You can load up one train with 120 or 240 coal and iron and ship that off to a mill, and that will get you enough production until the train rockets up again pretty easily. So it's just something that kind of has to be, got to be careful about it. Okay, trucks early on with steel is just hard, but this will be enough of a connection, and it's a long enough route that we should be able to make some money off of it. Okay, we're going to loop around this bend and go next to this forest. We're gonna try and make it as level as possible. The issue I'm trying to avoid is that all of your vehicles are impacted by the slope of the terrain. So if they're going uphill, they go slower. They go a little bit faster. They go up to their max speed when they go downhill. But so you want to try and keep it level as possible because you want them to be consistently driving at their max speed all the way. All right, so we got that set up. Let's go ahead and build a depot. Sorry, not a depot, a terminal. And I'm not too concerned about, honestly, I need it more to be closer to the iron mine than I am the coal, because that's so much further. But so it doesn't really matter here. We're just going to go ahead and drop it there. Okay, we're going to have both of them drop off at the same time, and then pick up and take the steel back in reverse. Okay, let's go ahead. Man, that's so far. Okay, we're going to try to straighten that out as best we can, try to cut off some of those curves, see if we can't shorten that distance. But let's start by turning this system on now. Okay, new line from coal to steel. Okay, so HDFD for Hartford, we're going to go coal to steel mill. Coal to steel. Okay, we're just going to start with 6 trucks just to get things going. It's definitely going to increase as we move forward, but that's how we're going to begin. All right, cool. It is already producing coal in preparation for these trucks to start that journey. Wonderful. All right, let's set up the other side. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at this production. Great, we've got 15 planks sitting there ready to be distributed. That means that the system is working well so far. Planks production, we're up $6,000 in profit. Wood to planks, $61,000. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's look at the intervals real quick just to make sure everything matches up. Wood to planks is 39 seconds, while planks to machine factory is 93 seconds. Okay, so we have a significant gap in between those two lines that we need to close a little bit. Okay, so the fact that we have 9 kind of sitting on the terminal, though, gives me hope that it's going okay. Let's see here. Yeah, one's going that way now. There's another one. Yeah, I think we're okay for now. We'll readdress this after we build out the iron mine Uh, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look. This is super curvy, super curvy. Eventually, I would straighten out that road, but right now we've already spent $1.5 million on this line alone. So we need to go ahead and watch our money. Looks like this side over here is flatter, so we're going to go ahead and build on that side. We're going to build one platform. We're going to make it 10 meters long because it doesn't matter. And we're going to try and make this as flat as possible and also as close as possible. Okay, so it looks like my catchment is right there. Great. Make sure. Yep, good. Yep, good. All right. So now we're going to start delivering iron to the steel mill. Okay, that is a distance, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to at least probably triple the trucks for iron than we do for coal. So iron to steel mill. Okay, now this is a completely different part of the map. It's by Mobile, so we're going to rename this MBLE. Actually, let's go MLBL. And we're going to go iron to steel. Okay, and we're actually going to, that's a huge distance for those trucks to drive, but let's just go ahead and do it. We got 6 trucks driving there, so let's go ahead and put 12 trucks. 12 trucks on this iron line. Mobile iron to steel. Boom. Okay. And that's kind of a... Yeah, let's get like a copper color for these trucks to match the iron. Copper. And of course this steel here, I'm sorry, this coal, we can't have that be pink. We're gonna have that be like a gray. Coal, steel, managed vehicles. Make all these trucks gray. Cool. Awesome. All right. So now we have some progress. We've got wood to planks, planks to machine parts. You can see there's already 47 planks stored in this machine parts, so that's going well. We have coal being delivered to the steel mill. There's already 18 coal being stored there, so that's a good set of progress there as well. And then we have set up our iron going to our steel, but there hasn't been anything delivered yet. That's going to take a while, but that's okay. All right. Last thing that we need to do once this kind of gets itself well established is that we need to take the steel and deliver it to the machine factory to make it work. Okay. Let's take a look at this. We got 12 planks in there. I'm happy with that so far. Okay. So these coal trucks that are going back and forth are passing right by the machine factory. So we're going to have them loop in, drop off the steel, and then deliver it to the coal. Okay. Now this is going to take a little bit of advanced configuring, but that's okay. It's nothing that can't be done if you know what you're doing. So this coal, we want them to take this road first and then come back the opposite way. All right. Actually, oh yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to modify this to end this issue completely. So we know that this is going to be a hotbed of activity. So let's go ahead and configure that. We're going to expand it and make sure that it's big enough. And then there's actually a street access function that gives you access to multiple streets if you want. So we're going to do that. So now the trucks can go this way and come this way and drop off everything. We're going to make sure that that's the case, though. We're going to go ahead and just ensure that the line, yep, it's going right there. Perfect. All right. So stop 1 picks up the coal. Stop 2 drops the coal off and turns it into steel. We need to add a 3rd stop. Okay, so we're going to click so it's the next available. We're going to add a station. and we're going to click on the machine factory drop off. Okay. Now, we are going to go ahead and configure a little bit so that it doesn't get confused and try to take something from there. So at Hartford Halt, which is the steel mill, we're going to make sure that they do something very specific. First of all, we're going to wait until, we're actually not going to wait till full because we don't know how consistent they're going to be, okay? But we are going to, pause real quick, we're going to unload coal, and we're going to pick up steel. And then at Hartford Branch, we're going to load nothing, and we're going to unload steel. That way there's no confusion about what you're doing at each stop and no doubling back on certain resources. Now, this will extend the time in which it takes for these trucks to get back and get more coal, but that's okay. We can increase the frequency later. You can also now see that they have adjusted their route. We're now going to take a look at this terminal and make sure that this is something that will be easy. The planks, we're going to switch to platform 2 so that there's no crossover between those two sets of trucks. Okay, terminals, yep. Everything looks good there. Machines, yep, they're going to do that. Great. And then coal and steel, they're going to do that. Great, awesome. Okay, so start the game up again, and let's make sure everything's working well. Okay, this has got 36 coal working right there. Just a reminder, you need a 2-to-1 on coal and on iron. So right now, this is going to make about 20 steel once I get the iron in. Okay, that's just not very much, especially for what Hartford needs eventually. So that's okay. Our trucks are almost to the iron mine. I don't even know if they're going to have okay, so a frequency of 103. Okay, so it's going to take over 1.5 minutes for this route to occur in real time. Okay, while we got that, we got planks stacking up here. Okay, so I'm seeing that I need maybe one more truck here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Great. And kind of see how it's going from there. Okay, I would like to see what kind of profit this is going to make once it actually completes a circuit. So I do want to hold off on cutting away until we get to that point. I am curious to see if there's an opportunity to like maybe just cut this here. Let's go ahead and do that while we're waiting. Just to make that easier. Let's keep it going. Okay, my trucks are going to be a bit confused because they want to take that route, and now they're going to take the long way. But we're going to straighten this out. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that road. There we go. Now they're confused. Here we go. Do that, and then we're going ahead and link that up. Okay, so now everything's kosher again, but now they have a little bit of a straighter route, and hopefully that we do the same thing here. I feel like I'm just spinning my like crazy right now, just trying to get everything as efficient as possible, but see there's that little lump right there that's going to help slow them down. Okay, so you can kind of see their speed over here. Here's our first truck filled with iron. Okay, they're up to 16 miles an hour. That's their max speed. And our objective with creating road routes and stuff like that is to have them at their max speed their entire time. So again, they just went over a little hill, so they had to drop down to 15, but we're at 16 now. Okay, we're going to increase the speed just to kind of see this route in its final form. So hopefully this pays off. I mean, it's a long way. The other thing that's kind of cool about Transport Fever and makes sense is that the longer the route, the more they're going to pay for the goods on the opposite side. So although this route is twice as long, if not 3 times as long as the coal route, it is going to pay out more, hopefully covering the cost of the journey, especially since, even though I mentioned this early on, like, you don't want your trucks to be going any distance empty. We definitely have that going on here, especially this long route. So even if I can be like in the black, in the positive at all for this route, it'll be a win. Simply because I'm supplying a necessary good to make other money in large quantities, but this isn't costing me any money. Okay? So we're dropping off the first time. Let's see how much we rake in. Awesome. Awesome. We are 14,000 positive now. So that made us about 24,000, 22,000 on just that one truck. Okay? Let's slow it down and we'll get the next truck as well, just to kind of see. So we're at negative 7,000 right now, and we're producing steel. Great. Looks like we do have a bit of a backup here. Okay. As that iron truck is dropping off, that coal truck just made $9,000 and it's picking up steel. We need to go ahead and switch this terminal up a little bit in order to make sure that this queuing doesn't happen. We don't want this, because this black truck is not going to be able to pick up any steel until these iron trucks drop off. So we do need to change this. Let's see how much money. That made $22,000. Great. Let's change these terminals. Let's go coal to steel is going to go back to terminal 2 instead. Now we won't have that issue. Okay. We actually did change the name of this line also, because it's doing more than just delivering coal. It's also taking the steel to the machine part. So we're going to change the name. Coal to steel, steel to machine. And I like to say loop whenever it's a full circuit. Okay. All right. So black truck drops off, picks up steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. All right. Cool. Awesome. Everything's working. Yay. All right. Cool. 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 These trucks are making money. My hope now is that these iron trucks, let's try to find our closest one, are going to continue to remain in profit their entire journey home as well. Again, if that could be done, then we have a successful route for sure. Let's up the tempo. Okay, going all the way back. I hate that that's a little bump right there, but that's okay. Yeah, really big dip there. Go and pick up our iron to continue the process again. Okay, all right, it's got 6. Okay, and if you remember, they spent about $7,000 making it all the way from the depot all the way here. So the fact that we have 14,000 still in reserve for this single truck tells me that this is going to be a profitable line. We're not going to spend more than $7,000 getting all the way back. Okay, we've spent, a good chunk of money just getting from here. If you click on this one, this has 14,000. So you're spending a couple $1,000 back and forth, but you're making $22,000 per truck per drop off. So everything's going well. Our last piece that we're going to try to do today, so let's just go ahead and take a look at this. This machine loop is now making about 90,000. The iron loop, 175,000. Great. Okay, that's doing well. Machine, that's 64,000. Now our last thing that we need to do is take these machine parts and deliver them to Hartford. So, yeah, we could even do one more cool thing. We could use those same coal trucks to deliver goods into Hartford and then restart the process. That would be super efficient. It would also be very complicated. For right now, let's just do a machine parts into Hartford supply line just to keep it relatively simple. Okay, do we have another terminal? No, both of our terminals are taken right now. So we're going to start by making another cargo terminal here. I knew that this was going to be super busy. That's why I gave it enough space to expand. So now we got 3 terminals there. We're going to go ahead and put a machine parts terminal right in the middle. Okay, so the machine parts demand is over here, but we also have that bread demand. So we're going to try to put it somewhere where there's catchment for the entire neighborhood, the entire city. I also don't want to exclude any one of these businesses, so we're going to put it right into the residential area. It's going to do good catchment for everywhere. Let's set up this last line, then we'll be done. All right, so there to there, perfect. Good supply line there. We're going to go Hartford machine supply. All right, let's take. Not going to be too big trucks that's going to have to do that. Let's just give it. Let's go 3 trucks for now. And let's go Hartford machine supply. All right, let's change. It's kind of a silvery, so let's go with the silver. There, change the vehicles to a silver. Make sure it's the same one. Third. Perfect. Awesome. So those trucks are now going to pick up machine parts. Let's make sure it's at the right terminal. Yep, they're at terminal 1. And we've already got our first machine part that's ready to be picked up. Okay. So we're going to, before we conclude, we're going turbo speed right now. We're going to make sure that at the Hartford branch, they're going to wait until full, because I do not want them driving back and forth empty the entire time. So we're gonna give them an opportunity to kind of sit there and wait to be filled up by the process that's going on here. Got 174 planks to 0 steel right now. That is to be expected, as this is a pretty complex system that we got going on here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the finances before we conclude. Here is the line manager. Let's take a look at our machine to supply is the thing we just set up. That's in the negative right now, but everything else is positive. We're making in between $40,000 and $180,000 on all of our lines, which is great. Planks to machines seems like that's the least profitable, but it's still making money. Our most profitable is actually that line we just set up. Okay, let's switch that up. The mobile iron to steel line is the most profitable in it. Okay, so we are doing okay. We are making some money. Let's go down and take a look at the overall finances. You can see I just spent some money, just spent a significant amount of money, but we're making about $277,000 in profit per 6-month window. Okay, so we're doing okay. This number is ticking up, which is good. We're at 522,000. We'll get close to that for this half of the year, but we are doing just fine. All right, so that's what we're going to go ahead and conclude with today. And next time we will try to see if we can take on some trains. All right, have a good day.